Snow softly fell outside the cottage, blanketing the lake and forest in silence. The wind moaned through the cracks in the timber walls, and the scent of smoke and pine hung heavy in the air. Inside, the hearth blazed with orange flame, casting flickering shadows across the rough stone floor and wooden beams overhead. Max and Lily nestled close beneath a woolen blanket, their cheeks flushed from the cold. Their grandfather sat on a low stool near the fire, a candle flickering beside him. "You've heard stories of wizards and dragons," he said, voice low and steady. "But tonight, I'll tell you the tale of Steelthunder, the warrior who was forged not from glory, but from pain and suffering." Lily sat up. "Was he brave?" "Brave, oh yes," Grandfather echoed, "but not always. Once he was just a young man named John, who lived in a peaceful village beside a silver lake where the grass was soft and the air was full of cheer. Children laughed, elders told stories, and the lake shimmered like glass, a cradle of joy untouched by sorrow, until that cursed morning when the sky turned black. Like a curse made flesh, her dark magic flooded the village. Grandfather's voice grew low and grim. One moment, the village was waking to birdsong. The next, the cheer was gone, swallowed by the darkness of her spell. Then she appeared, the Hippo Queen, towering grotesque, cloaked in a velvet robe studded with ancient curses. Her body fat and deformed by her endless gluttony, her eyes burning with hatred. She hadn't come to destroy. She had come to desecrate. She devoured joy, abhorred beauty, and left behind only death and devastation. Her minions followed close behind, and like a plague of locusts, they ravaged the village, setting houses on fire and slaughtering the innocent without mercy. Defiled by her foul magic, the once pristine lake turned to filthy sludge, and the fertile grain fields wilted, never to bear fruit again. John escaped, but no one else. He ran from the burning village with the cries of the dying ringing in his ears. He ran until the screams grew silent and the forest swallowed him whole. For days on end, he wandered through the wilderness without food and without shelter. Driven mad by hunger, the very trees seemed to whisper to him, "Lie down and die, for there is no hope for you." Yet he refused to give up. Stubbornly, he clung to life and the fleeting hope of rescue. Deep within the woods, hidden beneath twisted roots and moss-covered stones, he came upon a tomb. Lily's eyes widened. Was it scary? "It was ancient," Grandfather whispered, "built by forgotten hands, constructed to separate the world of the living from the world of the dead. Its door was carved with warnings, but grief and despair have a way of ignoring those. Or maybe curiosity was stronger than fear in the end. Inside, the air was heavy and stale from the dust of the centuries that had passed. An aura of magic engulfed the place. Torches lit on their own, and doors opened before him, leading him to a dark chamber. And in the center, resting on a cracked stone pedestal, lay a sword. Max leaned forward. "Was it magic?" "No," Grandfather said. "It was left as a silent warning to anyone who dared to enter the tomb. Forged in time immemorial to fight the dead, it had waited for a new wielder. Yet the sword wasn't the only thing that was waiting. Stirred awake from their eternal slumber by the young man who had foolishly trespassed into their domain, the dead rose from their graves. Slowly, stiff from the dust and decay of the centuries, they emerged from the shadows," he continued. "Zombies with hollow eyes and broken limbs, their fingers shriveled like claws, their bodies mangled and twisted by rot. hungry for the flesh of the living. They surrounded him, dozens of them, groaning and snarling. John, who had never held a sword, swung the blade wildly. Fighting without skill or finesse, his desperation was the only weapon at his disposal. Slipping on the damp floor of the crypt, he fell. Sharp nails tore into his flesh, eager to devour him and make him join the legions of the undead. The cabin was silent with tension, and the only sound heard was the howling of the icy wind and the hissing of the hearth. He should have died, Grandfather said, yet something inside him refused to surrender. With the last remainder of his strength, he lashed out with the sword, cleaving through the darkness and the shrieking undead. Breaking free, bleeding, stumbling to his feet, his breath ragged, he clung to life by a thread. Fleeing from the tomb, chased by the undead, he burst into the forest. Exhausted and at the end of his strength, he collapsed beneath an oak tree. Lily whispered, "He made it?" "Barely," Grandfather nodded. Out of breath, scarcely alive, he waited for death's final embrace. And that's where she found him. Max sat up. "Who?" "Her name was Nabrin," Grandfather said. "She was older than the forest, or so the stories say. A great warrior once, now the keeper of forgotten lore. She saw the sword, she saw the dying young man, and she saw the fire behind his eyes. She knew that he was special. She took him back to her ivy-covered cottage, nursed him back to health, and taught him how to fight, not with rage, but with style, how to listen to the wind, how to strike with purpose. She trained him in the art of combat and became the family he had lost. And slowly, the old John burned away, and from his ashes rose Steelthunder. Yet through all the years, he never forgot his village, Grandfather said. But he no longer dreamed of rebuilding it. He dreamed of vengeance. And Nabrin, the mentor who called him a work in progress, made sure he'd be ready when the time came, ready to face the Hippo Queen and her minions. Max whispered, "Did he ever confront the Hippo Queen?" Grandfather's eyes flickered. That's a story for another night. As their grandfather extinguished the candle, Max and Lily dreamed of shadowed tombs, ancient swords, and a brave warrior fighting a monstrous Hippo Queen.
Unknown, Steelthunder walks the path alone. The call of fate, the clash of steel, his story forged in fire and steel. Through broken worlds and ancient